Nothing at all you would apologize for, honestly?
Well, like, there's no, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
I mean, one argument is, I won't apologize because they're not going to accept it. Another one is, I'm not going to apologize because I'm not sorry, which is what you just said.
You don't even know what you want me to apologize for. You're literally just fishing because you're hoping you can get a Lauren Southern apology out. My
Grill her about the
count
boats,
is
Pisco.
Over 100.
Ask her if she would go on the boats again. Ask her for real. She memed about it earlier. Yeah, don't let her meme away it. Ask her if she would go on the boats again.
Well, would you?
My only regret is that I didn't have a higher kill count.
You stand by every word of that video, correct?
Yep.
Do you know what the kill shot is from here?
What's that?
Wait, did you want to talk about the yep?
Sure. What's your take on the yep?
It's a uncomfortably yep.
It's a I shouldn't, but I'm going to. It's the same yep that Bender gives in The Breakfast Club when the guy is saying, "You want another week? You want another week?" And he's like, "Yes, I do." It's like, okay.
Okay. Maybe. You could be right.
She's obviously, just get off my back. That yeps is like, get off my back. That's right. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get what you want out of me, bitch. Which
you respect that.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who often gives in to my elephant, I do respect it. I completely respect it. Lauren Southern has talked about her aversion to giving people what they want and being, the ultimate, you tell me to do something, I'm going to do the opposite type of personality before in other live streams and videos. So it's a Liberty Foundation. It's a Liberty Oppression Foundation where you're just like, when somebody tells me to do something, I want to do the opposite of that. I have a lot of that in me myself. So
really, I never. Yeah.
I can definitely respect that. Oh, you're telling me to do this, huh? Well, fuck you.
I think, I don't remember how we were talking about it. I think one of the very first things Adam told me about himself when we met in person was that he loves telling people they're wrong.
Yeah. It's true. You tell them the other part of it, though.
What was I don't know. What was
the other part? I do love telling people that they're wrong, but I also, I hate to lie. I mean, I don't like being dishonest.
Right.
And I don't like being accused of being dishonest because it bugs me just to be dishonest. So, but in order to tell people you're wrong, there is two paths. There is the dishonest path where, someone obviously likes telling people they're wrong.
You have to be righteous about it, yes.
So they'll just make shit up so that they can tell them that they're wrong. Or there's the honest path where you actually have to go find an argument that proves them wrong. So once I seize upon an argument that proves them wrong, it's like, oh, it's so beautiful because you're both right and honest. It's like, it's a double whammy.
This is the truth about why Adam loves MMT. He doesn't really care about MMT. He doesn't care about any of the policy prescriptions. He just loves being able to tell people that they're wrong.
It's true. There's a lot of other things too. Morality is another one that you can.
Adam doesn't care about morality. He just wants to tell people they're wrong.
It's true. That yep screamed. Yeah, that's right, bitch. You're wrong.
This is your shot, dude. This is the big leagues, okay? Hold on 1 second. You might be preventing future mass.
It's so... I hate to pause so soon, but it's so bad. Destiny is putting Pisco up to doing what Destiny can't do himself. It's pretty obvious that's going on here, right?
What do you mean?
I mean...
like trying to attack her or something?
I feel like for all the reasons that I just laid out, the whole profile building thing, Destiny's in exactly the same position as Pisco. And I feel like an apology probably would benefit, a Lauren Southern apology probably would benefit Destiny. But Destiny doesn't want to go out and pressure Lauren Southern into giving an apology. So he puts one of his orbiters up to doing it.
I don't agree with this at all because they had the conversation right after this where, Destiny was not pulling any punches with Lauren in that conversation at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't buy that he would have to have someone else, some minion, do the dirty work for him in this conversation.
Do you buy that a Lauren Southern apology would benefit Destiny? Consult your gut. Ask your elephant.
I think. Well, what do you mean?
Of course it would.
Well, wait a minute.
Destiny's going out and some, tacitly defending Lauren already.
Right. So he doesn't want to be associated.
If she threw an apology in there, he would be able to defend her even more vigorously. He'd be able to say, listen, she already apologized for this stuff. We're moving on. The thing is, I don't know what she's apologizing for.
Wait a minute. Here's the problem with the apology. Okay. Mm-hmm. The apology is an admission of guilt and fault.
Totally. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, but if you're going to talk about this from a cynical perspective, which I honestly don't think Destiny's coming from it from a cynical perspective, but if you are going to approach it that way, is it really better to say, oh yes, I was racist and I apologize, I'm not racist anymore, or is it better to be like, actually, I was never racist?
It's better to say, actually, I was never racist. Yeah.
Right. So that's why I'm saying I don't agree with this framing.
Right, but that's just a harder sell to Destiny's community.
Maybe, I don't know. I'll give Destiny some more credit than that.
Listen,
I think if he wanted an apology, he would do it himself. I don't think he needs some minion.
You have a bunch of these. This is like a standard thing on the left. You have Xander Hall. You have Faraday Speaks. They all come out and say, "Oh yeah, I used to be a terrible person, and now I've transferred. The progressive Holy Spirit has rolled over me, and now I'm a changed person."
Right.
They do this all the time. That's like a regular theme.
That's true.
Yeah. So that might be an easier sell to Destiny's audience. I'm not sure. I'm not reading Destiny's subreddit all the time, but I have the sense that Destiny really wants this apology to happen. Even the follow-up video to this is, and maybe it's just clickbait, but he's talking about bridge burning. Like he's ready to burn the bridge with Lauren Southern.
Well, he's ready to burn the bridge with everyone. That's like his brain.
Oh, okay. So he's always clickbait.
He's 24/7 standing on the bridge with a match.
Right. I kind of like that attitude.
Well, I think part of the issue, I don't know if this is the case. It feels like a very Howard Stern approach where everything is talked about on the air in terms of personal relationships and drama and disagreements. And that always puts people in a weird situation because obviously you have to talk to people differently on air than you would in private.
Yes. Yeah. To some extent.
Because everyone's like, they feel the eyes of the crowd watching them. Like, oh, I have to, people are way more defensive, publicly than they are privately.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying.
I know what you said.
Shootings, okay?
No.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Are we live? I'm assuming we're live.
We are, yes.
Good assumption.
Okay.
Great assumption. So there's Destiny said that you wanted to speak?
No, to debate.
To debate?
Okay, we're debating. Yeah, I popped in for like 5 minutes earlier and heard you guys going back and forth about this somebody that should probably do a video disavowing her past. And
that was this guy right here, Pisco. That was you. Are you ready?
Well, no.
Yeah, just lay out your problem.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Lauren, I don't know the particulars of your past except for what I was exposed to. I think I've seen videos about you with respect to January 6th, where you're discussing with Destiny, videos about related topics like that. I think I saw you on a round table with Destiny once, where he's like debating an old flame named Brittany or something like that.
Queen.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
Which was a lot of fun to watch. But my sense is that people on the internet and elsewhere in many different circles feel as though you've been evasive with certain positions that you had in the past, with they have a perception that you came back to the internet and tried to rebrand yourself. And I guess I'm curious whether or not you think that those accusations or observations have any merit to them. Has there been a change in your positions or anything like that?
So he's basically saying you've been evasive with all of these false accusations against you. And they're super chapped about that. Well, they should be. Right? Because I'm not giving into your fucking false allegations.
It's really
should have watched the lead up conversation to this, because maybe you would have got a better sense of, if Destiny's looking for an apology, or if it's really just Pisco is the one that's kind of motivating all this stuff.
Did you watch it?
I did not. No.
Oh, okay.
But Dallas Janus for $20 did, and they said, I disagree with Adam. There's a prequel video to this, and Destiny doesn't seem to be looking at all for an apology. So there you go.
Hard to say anything that has been like a huge change in my positions other than mostly my approach to things. I'm far more critical of the right wing now than I was before I came back because I got burned by so many of them. And I think my inherent assumption that the right wing is always correct was obliterated by that experience. So I'm far more open-minded, but I'm still absolutely a conservative. I still think there's problems with mass immigration. I still think there's problems with feminism. I'm not radically changed in any way, and I think anyone who took from my video that I'm suddenly a centrist when I returned didn't listen to the part where I explicitly said I'm not a centrist.
Ouch! Oh, painful.
Yeah.
She totally, targeting us.
Why? Come to the enlightened side, Lauren. Come join us here on the fence. Okay.
I know, that was our thing.
Jeez.
I think that's fair. I don't think anyone ought to expect you to radically change your political beliefs if that's not genuine. Do you think that there have been any, I don't know, radical positions that you once held that you no longer hold?
I don't think my positions were ever as radical as people assume they are or think they are, and I think 99% of the people that criticize me for my past videos and content have not watched my videos, and I can usually tell as much just by speaking to them. Like you were talking about how I should disavow the Great Replacement, and people will criticize me and say, "Oh, Lauren took down her video, so how dare she ask people to watch it before criticizing her for it?" Well, it's been uploaded other places. You can find it if you really want to. So, like, I'd have to ask you: have you even watched my Great Replacement video?
I have some time ago, but I'm not. To be clear, I didn't ask you to disavow anything other than.
Oh no, I heard you talking about it earlier.
I would just like to interject for the record that I'm not making any statements on anything being said here. I do not necessarily condone anything being said here, nor defend any of the statements from either litigants. I just want to be clear on that. Okay, continue.
Oh, okay, but
yeah, saving his profile right there. Look at that. Look, he doesn't want to be accused after the fact. He's like, I'm completely innocent in this. I'm just the moderator here. None of this rubs off on my profile.
What's wrong with saying that?
Let's just, we live in a situation where that's just a common tactic that I would like to obliterate. The whole idea that people use that as a tactic is just bad. It's faulty reasoning. What? The whole idea that you can, sit on a live stream with somebody and immediately adopt all of their beliefs via osmosis is just
right.
It's bullshit.
But that unfortunately, it's annoying. You have to say that there's so many times where it's like, you could sit on something like this and be a neutral arbiter or moderator, and people are going to be like, oh, you obviously agree with one side or the other because you didn't jump in here.
You didn't say anything. I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
The fact that you have to say that is what bothers me.
Well, I see what you're saying, but
because it's faulty reasoning.
Yeah, but. And we've both experienced this, and I see every streamer experiences this, where you say something, you say some like contained sentence of information or viewpoint or opinion, and then someone takes that and they add like 20 steps to what you said, and then they run with it and say that was your opinion, after they like completely extremified it and hyperbolized it. And you're like, what the I never said that. What are you talking
Yeah, and then they come to you and they say, well, that's the obvious outcome of what you believe. You're like,
what?
What the fuck?
Right.
Yeah. It's bullshit. It's all mischaracterization, and it's done on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this is why, I mean, you shouldn't apologize for other people's mischaracterizations of what you've done.
No, never.
And you should be a tireless fighter for who you actually are. No one's going to fight for you like you should.
Well, to be clear, though, you should apologize if you did something, if you think you did something wrong.
Yeah, but the article that I
Adam's
sent
like,
you.
but no, he's like, yeah, but.
It's usually very, very clear. This has come up before many times. We've argued about this: accountability culture versus cancel culture. Now, I sent you an article about Jonah Lira, who is a guy from John Ronson's book. So You've Been Publicly Shamed. This guy is a journalist, and he would just blatantly fucking make shit up in his articles. Like lie, basically. He would lie about quotes. He would lie about interviews. He would lie. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you should do, Sitch? Is that a good way to be as a journalist?
Of course not.
Yeah.
Why you ask? What is this tone of voice?
Did Jonah
like
Lira,
I'm going to defend this guy?
Did Jonah Lira deserve to be canceled and publicly shamed? Hell yes, he did.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. So many of these, cancelable offenses are things that could be interpreted in multiple different ways. They're not clear cut. He was lying about sources in his fucking article.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, no. Just because you said something that was inarticulate, that somebody could, twist to mean something nefarious, doesn't mean that it was something you said that was nefarious.
Sure.
We need some level of clarity here if you're going to go after people and demand a public apology.
Of course. I'm just saying that if you do something wrong, you should apologize. Okay? They're not, it don't have to be one way or the other. That's all I said. That's all I'm saying. Okay?
Right. But if you didn't do anything wrong,
right,
you should give them the middle finger and tell them, fuck off and get out of my fucking face.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there is an issue too, which is that a lot of times in these situations, when you're talking to people or you're in these publicly shamed situations, there's no path of exit or retreat that's ever given to the party you want to make some sort of conciliatory action. You have to give people a bridge to escape or exit a situation with some dignity attached, assuming you actually want something productive from the situation. If you don't, then you just hammer them to death with it, which is how these situations go. But they act like, oh, why can't you just apologize? Why can't you just, admit that you changed your beliefs? Why can't you just admit that you were wrong? And it's like, well, the problem is there's no path. You're not giving the person a path forward. You're not saying, oh, if if you're truthful with me, then we can be friends and we can hug and then, we can move forward. It's always like, oh, I want you to be truthful with me so that I can attack you further. And it's like, well, you're not incentivizing anyone to be honest in this situation.
Yeah, they're definitely the dishonest party. So,
which, if your goal is just to beat someone over the head with it, I mean, you can take that route. I'm not saying you have to take the conciliatory route, but if your goal is actually to be productive, you probably shouldn't take that route.
In the book, You've Been Publicly Shamed, and I went back and I read a large chunk of that book just because we were covering the stream.
Mm-hmm.
The people that end up getting totally fucked over and never get their lives back together are the ones that apologize. And the ones that soldier on and lead successful, productive lives after the event are the ones who don't apologize. So I think even if you've done something, and in the book they talk about Justine Sacco, we've talked about her numerous times on the show. She tweeted some offensive joke and then she was publicly shamed. I think she did actually apologize. But, you have to come out and you have to say, oh, I apologize that, this wasn't an impolite joke or whatever. I think that's the wrong course of action. You should say, listen, I made a joke. Okay. I'm not apologizing for a joke. I didn't do anything wrong. Okay. Nobody was harmed by this joke. I think that's the correct course of action. You need to fight for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, in a situation where you make a joke that's like supposed to be funny and somewhat edgy, then yeah, sure. I would agree with that. But my question is, with the people, when you say the people that don't apologize do better and the people that apologize do worse going forward, is that because by not apologizing, they have people who are like on the other side of the issue who support them? Or if they apologize, they lose that support? Or is it like an internal psychological thing that because they don't apologize, they're just more confident going forward in their actions?
The people lose interest in going after them when they don't apologize.
Oh, I see. So it's more like
the people smell blood in the water as soon as you apologize. So they're like, yeah, we can make this person feel bad. But as soon as you don't apologize and say fuck, they're like, oh, this person's not going to feel anything. We just need to move on.
Interesting.
We need to find a weaker subject.
The cancel mob is so lazy.
They are.
But see, that really shows that they're not interested in the apology. They're just interested in tearing someone down.
That's exactly right.
Right. Like they're like piranhas and they're just looking for that, that fleshy carcass to jump in the lake that they all, a little blood in the water to go after.
The easy kill.
Right. That's interesting. Okay. So I wouldn't even, it's not internal. It's nothing. It's just the people that cancel you, they'll just ignore you, I guess. Well, I don't know, to some extent. I mean, they're not ignoring Lauren. They keep going after her. They keep picking away at her.
I don't know, though. Listen, Pisco does not seem like he's going into this talk with a strong hand, if you ask me. He seems like a fucking, like a soy cuck going into this conversation. He doesn't know anything about this. He's just got the faceless, shameless mob behind him going, oh, yeah, cancel her, get the we heard she was a Nazi, get her. Right. And now all of a sudden, I have to be on a stream and I have to confront her. This is why I'm like, why are you letting Destiny off so easy here? It's so obvious.
What? No, because if you want to say
loving this,
he's loving it because it's funny, and it
is funny.
What you just said. He understands that's what's happening. That's why he's laughing in the beginning. He understands that Pisco is soy cucking out, is not very strong in his position. And he even said this is going to be like Lauren versus leftist part 357, where they accuse her a bunch of shit, but they don't actually have any receipts against her.
Exactly.
Right. That's why he's laughing. So yeah, I agree with that. I'm just saying I disagree with the whole, he wants some sort of apology from her. I don't agree with that take.
Oh man, his celebrity would immediately skyrocket though in the leftist useful idiot bubble.
I think
if he got an apology out of Lauren.
I think he's burned that bridge enough that he doesn't care about that.
Oh, I don't know anything about Pisco, so.
But no, I'm saying Destiny, not Pisco. Yeah, Pisco would gain. Yeah,
Pisco would. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, right. Okay,
why do you think he's doing that?
Of course.
Yeah, no. Destiny is moving into our space. I heard Destiny say that he wants to have conversations now where he moderates between both sides because he feels like he can articulate the arguments of both sides better than anyone. He's coming for you, Sitch. Listen to that.
I never made that claim, though.
Well, I mean, we do definitely try to consider, the most good faith interpretation of arguments. So,
usually. Usually.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Sitch? I always try to. What?
I mean, when it comes to like the JQ, I'm a little.
You're a little
less willing to give people the charitability. You
didn't watch Mouthy Buddha's 4-part series on the JQ?
Actually, no. Listen, we talked to Mouthy Buddha. I like Mouthy Buddha.
Right.
So I was referring to anyone that follows me on Twitter has known that I've been have been trolling the shit out of Academic Agent. I'm sorry, Quackademic Agent for the last 2 days.
It's been pretty fun. Yeah.
It's always funny because he's all like, I'd be like, oh, you believe in the JQ, you believe, Jews are evil and they control everything. He's like, that's ridiculous. And then like 24 hours later, he's like, Sitch, how can you possibly deny that Jewish power has severe influence in American politics? I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right. Whatever. That's not related to this
positions. All of those positions are just swimming in contradictions for me. So
it's so funny.
My perception has been that, you might, I totally accept both your and Destiny's characterization that there are people who have misconstrued your views. But strictly speaking, that wasn't my question. My question was whether or not you have yourself realized a difference in position, either on the Great Replacement or on any other thing in your past, in terms of your views. Has there been genuine movement from what one might characterize as the far right to a more central position? Not whether or not people have seen your video or not whether or not people are fairly construing your views, but honestly, do you feel as though you've changed significantly?
Don't lie to me.
This is such bullshit because he never asks her what her former positions were or what her current positions are. He's just asking her, have you changed your position? And I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, that's a great point because that should be the way to frame it. Say, well, what is your what is your current position on immigration? What is your current position on assimilation? What is your current position on I don't know, ethnic essentialism or cultural essentialism?
Yeah.
And you answer these questions and say like, okay, this is what you believed when you made the video, 4 or 5, whenever the fuck this video was made, so many years ago. Has any of your opinions changed on any stuff? Like that's how you phrase it. You don't just be like, have you changed from your evil ways?
Have you had a progressive transformation now?
Right.
Are you going to be the next Hunter Avalon for us? Please. Wash the man's hearts and skulls.
No, I don't disagree with my Great Replacement video that I made. I think a lot of it was accurate. I just would present it differently today if I did it again.
Why would you present it differently?
See, if the real question, I would say, if you were being honest, would have been, well, how would you present it differently? Not why. Because by asking why, he's saying, oh, so you admit that you were wrong? You admit that you've changed? You admit that you should apologize for something?
I think he means why because he's covertly accusing her of being dishonest.
Of course.
And he thinks,
of course,
she would do it differently now so she wouldn't be accused of being the secret Nazi that everyone knows that she really is.
I see what you're saying. Right. Okay, maybe.
That's the play here.
Mayhaps.
Yeah.
Because I think that you can say factual things and have people interpret them in ways that you don't intend. Just based on imagery, tone, all these different things. So I'd present the information differently.
But you stand by every word of that video, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
There's the yep heard around the world. Yep.
Do you believe that there is a deliberate strategy on behalf of people in power to maintain low white birth rates?
No.
Oh, wait, let me go back. I need to hear
conversation.
Oh my God, that's that's not in any Lauren Southern video ever.
Wait,
that would stand out like that would be what I would be like, what the fuck did she just say? What the fuck?
Do you believe that there is a deliberate strategy on behalf of people in power to maintain low white birth rates?
Oh, okay. So you're saying, does she believe it's a fair question to ask that, but yeah.
Can you?
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there are people who have that shit in their videos.
There's lots of people that believe that, sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was talking to someone on Twitter that believes
they're not, but they're not, they're talking about a very specific type of white person.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
No.
Do you think that that's a view that you expressed in your 26 whenever video?
If I did, I don't remember it, and you'd have to point it out. Genuinely, I'd have to go rewatch the video myself, but I don't recall saying that, no.
If that was...
she's nervous.
What's that?
You could tell she's nervous. But she's like, oh shit, did I say something like that? I didn't see that in the video when I watched it. I didn't say anything about this intentional replacement. Did you?
No, I would have.
Okay.
I would have immediately been like, okay.
Yeah, right.
This is a little fuck. But I'm too lenient on people who are just young and dumb, because when I was young, I was so fucking dumb. Like, so many of these people, I just think they just say dumb shit because they're fucking 20.
Well, that's true. I mean, I think she said she was 19 when she made that video.
Yeah, she's 26 now, she says in this thing.
Right.
So I'm just like, thank God there wasn't the internet around when I was saying all my fucking totally dumb shit. Right?
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, with my elephant, you could pretty much get me to say anything.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. I easily controlled. Zero free will. What are you talking about?
Understood from your video, you would now disavow that belief without any objection and, without any hesitation. You wouldn't hold back a change in position, would you, out of fear of retaliation? You want to tell the truth to the people and what your actual views are. And if you have a change of position, you want to let us know, right?
Yeah, I don't disavow things, but I would, if I did say that, I would disagree, and I would correct that and tell people, no, that is incorrect.
So you think that
it's not a deliberate plan?
So do you think that Destiny's assessment that you're worried
just say an assessment, okay? Don't say my opinion, motherfucker.
You think that an assessment that you're merely hiding your views out of a grift, or because of built up anger towards the left?
That was Destiny's assessment, that she's just grifting? Really?
Well, I don't know, but he's really throwing this in the bus here.
I mean, Destiny seemed to have a good rapport with Lauren, so
right. I think he says it's not his opinion. I think right after this.
I don't. The grifting charge is thrown around way too much. I mean,
yes.
She made all of these videos when she was 20 years old. I guess a lot of these people don't understand that because they're all in their 20s and they think they're just geniuses. So
right. Well, and I think she says this maybe directly here, but that charge against her doesn't make sense, because if she hasn't, I would assume that she hasn't gained financial benefit from trying to come out as more moderate now.
Right.
Maybe she has. I don't know. I don't think she has. It's the same thing with people saying that Hunter Avalon is a grifter, which doesn't make any sense to me, because it's like he basically fucked over his channel by switching positions. So I'm not sure how, like, you can disagree with him, but I'm not sure how that makes you a grifter.
Yeah, the grift would be sticking with something that you no longer believe in, which I think is probably far more common. More common. Yeah, exactly.
Or becoming, or even not becoming, but like talking in more and more extremist rhetoric in order to appeal to more and more tribal groups. That is being a grifter.
Yeah. That happens too.
Assuming you don't actually hold those beliefs, obviously.
Left, true, right? We're getting your unadulterated views, and you're not hiding from anything to save face or to make money, right?
I mean, if I wanted to make a ton of money, I would have come back with a massive video just saying how all lefties should die, right? That would have been my comeback video, not, hey, I kind of want to look at both sides, guys, and lose 200,000 subscribers.
There you go. So anyone who said that
a lot of you sent us.
Did she really lose 200,000 subscribers? That's
I don't know. It's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. You're cringing away from from the left because you don't want to get bullied more. And anyone who's saying that you're just in it so that you're not on the street as a beggar, that person would be totally detached.
Hold on 1 second. Lauren, on your Discord, do you see an option in the bottom left that has a headphone thing?
What?
There's a headphone thing. It's like a microphone thing. Can you click the headphone thing for like 1 minute real quick? Okay. Peace. Click that again. Okay. Click that again. Hold on.
No. Hey, absolutely
hold
not.
Hold on. Pisco. Look at me right in the eyes, okay? Listen.
For those who don't have Discord, Destiny was trying to get Lauren to deafen herself so he could talk to Pisco without her hearing.
Yeah.
I'm saying, okay, I haven't had an in-depth conversation with her about her fucking great relationship. I'm just saying, hypothetically, this is how I could see somebody be there, okay? She might believe whatever the fuck or have a whole bunch of things. I don't know. I'm just providing like one potential explanation for people. And then that's why I'm giving examples of like people like Hunter that have tried these things and they haven't worked. That's all I'm saying, okay?
But
he said Hunter Avalon was trying the grift and it didn't work.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he's like, stop throwing me under the bus, you fucking asshole.
Right. Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Basically.
Given that you're now being confronted with a person who has said that they're honest about their views and they're not going to lie and they're not going to grift, that theory must be thrown out, unless you think she's lying right now. Correct?
True. If you want a harder position, so like the kill shot question. Or wait, hold on. Do you know what the kill shot is from here?
What's that?
Well, I didn't know if you were building towards it. The kill shot question now would be that if you could present, so she's made two statements. One, she said that if she has made a statement that she disagrees with today, she would retract it regardless of the cost.
I can't hear you right now.
Just hold on, okay? She would retract it, irrelevant of the cost, right? We agree with that essentially, right? Because she cited, well, I came back.
She's paying it right now.
Yeah, and so that's the one. And number two, she says she doesn't specifically remember the words said in the Great Replacement video. So the kill shot question is, if you could present her with a line that pretty explicitly says there is a directed replacement of white people, directed intentional replacement of white people, she necessarily would have to retract that. And if she found a way to squirm around that, then there would be some weaseling or misdirection or some bad faith act on her part.
Unfortunately, I don't have the bullet prepared because I was going to bed and you called me, you called the banners.
Well, here's the thing. No one ever does. No one ever seems to.
That, Lauren. And Lauren, I don't believe, I think that there's good in everybody.
Guys.
I'm sure we disagree on substance on a great many things. And to be honest, do I memorize the words that you put in your Great Replacement video? No, I don't. I don't even know where I...
Yeah, you just remember that you have to be mad about it. Like everyone on Reddit, like everyone on Twitter. Everyone just knows they have to be really, really mad about it and call me a terrorist. That seems to be the general consensus.
I can't speak for other people. I can speak for myself, and I can say that even the version that you gave just now, where you were saying...
See, but here's the problem. Since he started the conversation off by saying, most of my opinion about Lauren is based on what other people tell me, he is speaking necessarily from the position of other people in this entire conversation.
Yeah, good point.
He hasn't drawn his own conclusion here. And I think regardless of whether people criticize her video or not, what I think is fair, if you actually look through the manifestos of these crazy shooters, I don't think either of them watched Lauren Southern's video and were like, this is why I'm going to shoot anyone. Like, they all seem to be pretty radicalized, mostly through interacting with people on message boards and kind of going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole through their own research. I don't think anyone saw Lauren Southern's video and was suddenly like, I must kill the non-whites.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like this line of questioning just because it seems so silly. The whole, you would tell us if you're lying, right? It's like, what a dumbass. Okay. I mean, that's basically...
Adam, of course, listen, Adam, if I was lying, of course I would tell you.
I mean, that's basically the line of questioning that he's pulling out here. And it's just, okay. Yeah. You can't do better than, come on, Piso. At least talk about the substance of the argument. It's all of this, so many people on the left default to character over arguments. They don't want to talk about the actual substance of the debate. They want to talk about whether or not this person is on my team, or if they've done things that offend the team or make the team look bad or don't represent the team in a good light.
That's a great point. And that's why, with Hunter's conversion, and I remember when I listened to his conversion, what bothered me was not his conversion. It's just, I didn't agree with his positions before his conversion. I don't agree with them now. It's relevant to me. What bothered me was that during his conversion, it was like, give me names to sacrifice
Right.
Basically.
Totally. Perfect example of what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly just to like, oh, show us. It's almost like the gang initiation. Like you have to go kill someone to show you're like, on our side.
You got to go kill a normie.
Or you have to go kill one of the rival gang members to prove that you really have changed sides. You know?
Yeah.
Like give us some scalps to show that you really joined our tribe. It's like, okay, what are we doing here?
Yeah, this is the most regressive type of politics ever. It's like let's not both challenge one another to try to come to a solution that's going to work for everyone. Let's try to tear down the other team so that we can gain political power.
Right.
Talk about selfish.
Wait. Sorry, you made the claim that race and culture should not be tied. And, in America and Canada, in a lot of cases, I think I can agree with you there. But do you not see there being like some ethno-cultures in the world?
Are there ethno-cultures?
Like, let's just say, like, if you're Jewish, your ethnicity tends, not always, of course, but there are some like ethno-cultural ties there in a lot of cases.
Undoubtedly, there are correlations.
Had to go to the Jewish.
I know, Lauren. Jesus,
could have said.
That was literally the worst fucking example.
Could have said Japan. Could have said Japan. Could have said China.
Japan's always the go-to. That's
could have said
go-to.
India.
Oh my god.
Yeah, could have said India. India would have been.
Most Americans probably don't know enough about Indian culture to relate to that, but. She had to go with the Jews. That's a terrible example.
There is like Indian culture there's a strong ethnic component to Indian culture. I think. I mean, I don't know. Myself,
no, right, but I'm saying like
Japan is usually the go-to one,
right? Because people have some understanding of at least the stereotype of Japanese culture,
right?
Where I don't think that's true for most Americans when it comes to India. But
10 demerits, Lauren.
I know, jeez, and it's so funny too because like if like. Sort of American, quote unquote, American Jewish culture is very highly regional.
Different.
It's also it's very regional dependent on where you live. You live on the East Coast, you live in New York, you live in New Jersey, you live in the West Coast, and also from going to a European country, what the quote unquote Jewish culture there is, and going to fucking Israel is like a whole nother shebang. So and then even that it's further broken down because it's like, I mean look at Joe, Good Logic. We have very different perspectives of the world and our religion, and we have completely.
And you're
different
both Jewish, yeah.
And he's like way more, hardcore. Like he went to all this, Hebrew schooling and all this other stuff. Than I'd be like to his like view. I'm probably like barely a Jew, so it's just like that's just the worst possible example I think you could ever bring up.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, highly culturally diverse and ethnically diverse as well. Yeah,
right. And I'm sure that if you're Japanese, you'd be like, "What are you guys talking about? Japanese culture is not a monolith. It's very different. All this stuff." And that is
too bad.
Probably true.
You're our go-to example.
I know, but it's just for like to give the low resolution filter.
Right.
But even then, the broader argument, I would just say, well. I mean, because she said like, well, she gave the concession that in America and Canada, it's not based on race, which is good and true. But I don't see why that would necessitate that other cultures can't have that same model. I mean, they've had that same model, obviously, in the past, but I don't know why that would necessitate them continuing an ethno-cultural nationalist model going forward.
Man, there's a lot of weebs, a lot of American weebs that would love to be Japanese. They would love it.
That's true.
Hilarious. All right, Lauren.
And links between and obvious links between one's race and ethnicity and their culture by virtue of your birth and where you're going to be and where the tendencies are for any particular race or ethnicity. 100% agreed on that. The question is, should we emphasize, should race be an important factor or an important consideration or something that's driving policy in a way that we're trying to protect and cultivate one particular segment, especially a majority segment which has outsized influence in that society.
See, he realized the path he was going down, and he's like, "Oh shit, I'm talking about the racist CRT movement here. I better throw in the majority thing so I can." He realized he did. He was like,
Right.
"Listen,
He
we do
course-corrected.
protect. Yeah, we do protect races."
You're gonna have to zoom out because Destiny keeps playing this meme throughout the stream, and people are gonna
I
be
know.
very confused if you don't show what. I don't know why he's.
It was
playing
on
this
screen the
fucking
first time
meme.
you played it, but what does this say?
So I don't know the exact origin of this meme. This is from one of my favorite animes, is
Right.
Hunter x Hunter, and one of the like. So you know how in American media, like we'll have Eastern religious symbols because we think they look cool. Like, you know, people put yin yangs on shit or Shinto gates or little Buddha palm. Just like, oh, it looks cool. Okay. So it's funny because in a lot of anime, they do the same thing with Western religious symbols.
Right.
And so
He's got the Star of David there. Yeah.
Right. And so in a lot of anime, they'll put crosses and Jewish stars and all sorts of shit all over everything that doesn't really have a clear meaning for why it's there. And in Kill la Kill, I'm not Kill la Kill, in Hunter x Hunter, the character Killua has these yo-yos that has the Jewish star on them.
Oh, it's
I don't
a
think the
yo-yo.
characters. Yeah, it's a yo-yo. I don't think the character's supposed to be Jewish because it's sort of like an alternative Earth where they don't have the same religions or cultures, and then all the continents are kind of shuffled around. But so someone just took the panel of him with the yo-yo and they just put in, I don't know why, they put into the text box Killua saying, "Go and I love Israel. Go and I love Israel." I don't know why the meme is that way, and I have no clue why Destiny keeps playing it throughout this conversation, but
Because it's funny.
it is funny, but I don't know why it's funny, but it is funny.
Because maybe he plays it every time Lauren brings up Jews.
Maybe. Oh, you're right.
Or at least in the United States. I can speak for.
Israel. I love Israel.
I think that view is very.
I love Israel. I love Israel.
It's pretty funny.
All right.
And listen, Killua is the best character in Hunter x Hunter. So listen, I'm glad he loves Israel.
I think down this road leads trouble, and I think that your video, to the extent that I remember its theme, plays into the fears of race and emphasizes race as something important with respect to birth rates and with respect to culture. Fair?
I think that race and culture are connected, not entirely. And I don't think that should be the ultimate emphasis or the focus of a country. I think assimilation and making sure people that do immigrate to countries have time to assimilate and become a part of that culture and country is more important than ensuring, oh, you are 100%, the same race as this country, of course. But I think it's completely reasonable for people to point out when immigration rates are to a degree that assimilation cannot happen. And when the birth rates of the native population are low enough that eventually that seesaw is going to turn one way instead of the other. I mean, the left have a word for this when they talk about gentrification, white people going into neighborhoods and turning it into this white area, and they get pissed off about that with white culture, quote unquote. And I don't think in any other country, outside of Europe or outside of the Western world, anyone would be okay with the idea of, say, tons of Europeans moving into Pakistan and just kind of taking over and killing out the local culture there and having their birth rates decline suddenly until their cultures eventually die out. This is always talked about with, I know obviously Destiny has a very different position on this. I think he's very consistent when he says,
don't quote me. I'm here.
No. You've always been consistent when people jump up and down about preservation of indigenous cultures in America and Canada, and the inconsistencies there sometimes. Whereas I actually would say we should do more to preserve indigenous cultures in Canada and America. Since I find those things important and I find those communities important. So that's like the biggest disagreement. It's not actually like some big disagreement over, it's not some big, I want to save the white race thing. It's not really about that. It's that I find community and I find cultures important, and that is tied somewhat to birth rates, and that's...
Do you think that So like if you have in America where you have these pockets of quote unquote minority cultures, right? And she's using this term of like indigenous cultures. Like I don't know, to me it's a different situation when it's like people leave a culture, or they kind of lose aspects of whatever their hometown, because it isn't just like a Native American thing. Like you can grow up in a small town and there could be some kind of culture that exists in that town, and then you move to like a big city.
Americana.
Right, and you sort of adapt whatever that culture is in the bigger city.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's just sort of like, that's very different. I wouldn't compare that at all to talking about, mass immigration, assimilation, anything. To me, it's a completely different situation.
Right.
I'm not sure that there should be like protection mechanisms for that either.
We're obviously biased because we're in the American situation, right, and have grown up in areas where, we've there's been a lot of racial diversity in my life, from the get-go. So I can't escape that as part of my experience. But I can't, for me, I'm biased towards culture being separate from race. So it offends my, yeah. Well, I'm just talking about what she's saying.
Okay, right.
I mean, if you wanted me to respond, what were you saying?
Well, no, I mean, should we be making, if there's some pockets of smaller cultures of like indigenous people or something, like, I mean, I don't think the majority culture, the government should be like, like in Canada where they were directly like taking away children and trying to force them to Canadianize them, something. I'm not in favor of any of that. But should there be the opposite of that? Should there be some action to like, we have to, put these people in a museum? No, like to protect it, to cordon it off. Like I don't think there should be any effort to cordon off anything like that.
Well, I think it should be voluntary, obviously, and that's kind of what we've done. We've said, listen, we took all your land, we fixed the place up, but we want to be respectful here. So we're going to give you some area here.
Here's some casinos.
Yeah. If you want.
Sorry about the genocide.
If you want to keep, hey, that wasn't our fault. Okay. Those were the other assholes that were our ancestors, but.
Well, actually it was Germ's fault, but really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to sustain your culture, you go ahead and you knock yourself out.
Right.
But the problem is our culture is so badass, all the young people want to join it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it makes it very hard to sustain that culture. But we can say at least we're doing the right thing because it's a voluntary situation.
Exactly.
It's not our fault that they wanted to join this culture.
Right.
Which I just think anyone's going to want to join so much of this just goes back to, I think, evolutionary principles. Like if the mating prospects are bad in this tiny culture, it's like, maybe I'll try the culture next door. Right.
Right. That's well, I think people, not everyone, but people, the way that you emulate success is to basically just try to copy successful people.
Of course.
And so generally in most societies, there's going to be some mainstream culture that is a clear path of emulation to success.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, totally.
Or might be clear, success within that culture, obviously.
Well, and success financially, reproductively.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously,
well, it's funny what you said about like, because I agree with you, it should be entirely voluntary in these situations.
Yeah.
But as you said, the issue is that like, well, our culture is so badass that all the young people want to join it.
This happens all the time.
Right, exactly. But see that it's funny because
the elders sit around and complain, all the young people left.
And the young people need to put up their pants listening to the loud music.
Right.
Playing their video games. Your culture's in decline, I tell you. But it's funny because that's exactly the same argument whenever we have this conversation about the global hegemony of liberalism in the world.
Oh yeah.
They complain about Ukraine and Russia, and it's like, well, we're sorry that like living in a democracy is just better than the alternative.
Than living in an autocracy. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like that's why people are going to choose it, because it's way better. I mean,
people generally want more individual freedom. Yeah. I mean, there are people who that scares. There are people who don't want more individual freedom. They want to be told what to do and when to do it.
Sure.
I don't disagree. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I mean, this is the issue here. Is that this is why these arguments are so weird to me, is that, there is obviously a balance we can have between, democracy of individual rights and also people having, family values, which is really kind of the underlying thing that's kind of triggering people here.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, we've had that in our country for like 300 years. So I think,
that's what we're working back towards.
I think we can figure that out.
That's what we're definitely working back towards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely tied to immigration.
Yeah. If whites became a minority in the United States, would that be a problem?
If whites became a minority in the U.S.?
Yes.
I don't know. We haven't got there yet.
She does see that there is an ethnic component to culture. That's definitely
she's being kind of coy about it.
Because it's a politically untenable position at this point, especially in this social media
because she said
space.
it's not. She said it's less so in America and Canada, which is true, and she's saying it's more so in Europe, which is true. But the question is,
what is right?
The question is not what is right. The question is, does it have to be? And to me, the fact that it's not in America and Canada shows it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But also the question is it wrong that if it is? And then people point to Japan and say, no, it's not wrong. Obviously, they're doing it.
Yeah, but I would say it is wrong.
Right. We should be able to be Japanese. Right. What the fuck, Japan?
Listen, Japan, there's all sorts of weebs, okay, who will love.
Yeah. we want to come over and be Japanese.
Right.
Stop being dicks.
Well, and actually, Japan's interesting because that's like a very American go-to example for a homogenous, protective culture. And yet, they have all the same problems, if not worse problems, when it comes to people being unhappy, people being depressed, poor birth rates.
Oh, the birth rates are just destroyed.
Right. And so it's interesting because sort of the far right argument about this protectionism of culture and tying to race, it's not doing so well in Japan.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, if they brought in some diversity, they might have higher birth rates, right? They might just people be like,
Well, I'm not even making that argument. I'm just saying, I'm making the argument that there's this claim seems to be that the reason the birth rates are low and people are unhappy is some reflection of moving away from a static, as Pisco would say, or moving away from sort of cultural attitudes and moving to a more open society. And I don't think that's true at all. I think it has so much more to do with technology than these cultural shifts.
The birth rates issue is definitely correlated to increasing rates of wealth. The wealthier a population gets, the less kids they have. Yeah. That's pretty solid. And I think it's got to be a little bit driven by selfishness, because they're like, there's so much more to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it says according to this, says the birth rate in Japan is 1.3.
Yeah, it's not replacement rate.
And in South Korea, it's 0.92. Jesus.
South Korea?
Really? South Korea is so low. Yeah, that's interesting.
Crazy.
I have no idea.
I haven't got there yet. But would you characterize it as problematic if whites in America were a minority in America?
I mean, the only problem I could see there is like if it happened in like such a time span that assimilation couldn't occur, you know?
Yeah. Do you find it?
See, that's the thing. I mean, it appears like she's making the cultural non-racial argument, which that's a completely valid argument to make.
Assimilation to what? They haven't separated.
Well, that's the thing that
white culture and stuff.
Right,
I don't.
right.
What do you mean?
Disagree. We can totally disagree on policy, on substantive policy and immigration policy. You might think that language requirement is something that makes sense. I wouldn't say that that's inherently a racial position, that you think that English should be spoken, because I think that it's okay for states to encourage English to be the main language. The point of this discussion was whether or not your positions on race and its effects on society, and whether or not it should be promoted as a source of legitimate concern, whether you've taken any step back from that. And
you want me to take steps back from things that you can't even necessarily define? Like what about race do you want me to step back from, or do you think I should or have?
I'm asking you from your own perspective whether or not there's anything with respect to race that you've noticed that you've changed on.
Oh shit, how loaded a question is that? I'm asking you, how have you changed your racist ways, Lord?
That's it's a bad question, because first of all, before you start castigating her for not changing her opinion, as Lauren said, well, you have to figure out what the fuck her opinion is.
Right.
And nail that down. Yeah, you don't get to offload that. Well, if you just offload that on her, she'll just say, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with what I say.
Yeah. I mean, people always mischaracterize people's opinions as racist because it's politically advantageous for them to do so. So they do that in many different contexts.
But if you think that someone is racist, you got to nail that down first before. Well, I mean, if you want to be like fair about it, I guess you have to nail that down first, and what exactly the belief is and what the problem is with it, before you fixate on whether they changed from being problematic or not.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. All this is just kind of seat of your pants, though. Well, that too, yeah. But this is all just the homework, the legwork wasn't done for any of these accusations.
No, the legwork was not done for this conversation.
And unfortunately, I'm not sure the legwork was really done on any of the accusations against Lauren, because I just, every time someone says, "Oh, there is the there," I look and I'm like, well, that's not it.
They aren't mad about my motivations. They're mad that I dislike illegal immigration. They're mad that I dislike mass migration. They're mad that I'm generally conservative, and they'll never forgive me for any of those things. So even if I apologize for things that they may think are marginally worse, they'll still hate me. It doesn't matter.
But if you truly, you wouldn't apologize for something you didn't feel, correct? We both agree on that, because you're not going to lie. But there's no.
I hate that feeling thing. It's like something you've done. It's not something you feel. Okay, it's not a feeling thing.
Nothing at all you would apologize for, honestly?
Well, there's no. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
But are you sorry?
Fuck, I don't know what to tell you, man.
I mean, one argument is,
Pisco's like, I don't know how you can't be sorry. You're so mean. So many people have been hurt by you.
You don't understand. Lauren's being dishonest. She's not saying she's not sorry. She's saying she's not sorry.
So okay? I know. She said
it's very different. She's hiding behind the language differences. Okay, that's why everyone needs to speak English.
This is Canadian speak. She said important too. Like she has a weird way of saying important. It's not important. What? That's how you say important? Okay. Anyway. Is this in bad taste? I feel like maybe.
I think it's a great taste.
Our Canadian audience has to love us.
Our Canadian audience does love us, okay?
We have like at least 100 Canada jokes every stream.
I know.
It's not. Okay. Sorry.
It's all in good fun.
Let's get back to this important video.
I won't apologize because they're not going to accept it. Another one is, I'm not going to apologize because I'm not sorry, which is what you just said.
You don't even know what you want me.
This is such bullshit. Nobody apologizes when they've done nothing wrong. Why are they talking about it this way?
Well, some people
Sitch?
do, but they're soy.
I know, and listen. Apologizing for something you didn't do is a mistake. Okay, don't do it. You're basically admitting that you did something that you didn't do.
Right.
Don't do that.
Me to apologize.
I mean, one argument is, I won't apologize because they're not going to accept it. Another one is, I'm not going to apologize because I'm not sorry, which is what you just said. You
don't even know what you want me to apologize for. You're literally just fishing because you're hoping you can get a Lauren Southern apology out. Like, it's the weirdest thing. You're like, is there anything
Pisco
you can think of to apologize for?
Hold on, Pisco is my resident good faith actor, except when he's talking about terrorism. Okay, so he would not do that. Okay, just being clear.
Yeah, okay. Well, like, I don't even know what he wants.
Lauren, Destiny's completely wrong here. Lauren totally nailed it. That's exactly what he wants.
That's what it feels like, yeah.
Yeah, totally. He's at the apology pond. Oh, maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I'll get lucky.
The apology pond. Yeah, there you go.
I'll get a Lauren Southern apology out of here. Yeah. Too bad they're not biting today, Pisco.
She's me to apologize for. It's just really think, Lauren. Really think.
Sitch, we should get Lauren on and see if we can get an apology out of her. I wonder if that would work for us. Yeah.
For what though? We have to nail this out.
Let me
think. For saying important.
Yeah, that would be a good one. For making people feel bad about how inadequate their lives are. I'll take an apology for that. I mean, she's done a great job at doing that.
Listen, Lauren, you've talked about how important it is.
Important.
That
please,
a country
speak the Queen's English.
That a country speaks unified English, okay? You hypocrite. I want an apology. I want an apology for saying important and so sorry. I can't even say it.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I want you and Jordan Peterson on here right now.
I'm sorry.
Did she say it's absurd?
Okay.
It's absurd, really. Absurd. I want apologies. Okay. Everyone's got to speak metropolitan English, damn it.
Well, this is very...
Then we're going to go after the poppers.
I think we're getting close. Poppers. I think Pisco's about to get his apology here. Let's roll.
What I'm really not... I'm trying to get to Destiny, really, which is Destiny has for months...
Hold on. Whoa. You don't even know what my position is in this, bro. Fuck you. What are you trying to get to me?
Bro, you know what? Fuck it. I'd shoot all those flares again. I'd sink all those ships.
Don't do
I'd
this.
do it all again. I'd make all my videos. Absolutely. And I'd take you with me, Destiny. You're going to come shoot the flares with me. It's going to be great. Pisco, you can come too. I've got extra flare guns for you all.
Okay, hold on. Let me sharpen.
Fucking ships together.
I'm going to sharpen Pisco's blade here, okay? Wait. Oh, no, hold on. What?
You can go. But I have something to say to you.
Say it. Just say it.
For months, the story has been from you that the reason why we haven't had a movement from Lauren that's visible, or that she hasn't articulated a change in position, is because screw those lefties for demanding it. They're not going to accept her.
No. Hold on. To be clear,
to you.
No, hold on. I've given a ton of hypotheticals. I don't know her one reason. There might be a variety of things. However, one of those things that I did say to you, I believe earlier today, one of those things I did say to you is, remember when I said there's a broad list of accusations, but a pretty narrow set of things that she might change, and giving any sort of apology seems like an admission to guilt for the broad range of charges? That seems to be like fairly close in line with her saying like, well, I believe everything I
do, right? If there's something that you did wrong that
He made a great point. Destiny made a great point. At this point, she can't apologize for anything because it's going to be conflated with all those other charges. That's a great catch by Destiny. Yeah, apologize for nothing. I wouldn't apologize for like, anything.
Right. But what Pisco is trying to parse here is say that, well, there's a difference between saying you're not going to apologize for that, and the difference between saying you're not going to apologize because you don't think you've done anything wrong.
Well, listen,
and the realistic, which is true, those are different. But I would say, I think you can talk about. I think more than one thing can be true at the same time as well. Right.
In Pisco's world, being conservative is a crime. So I just
there you go.
In that world,
Pisco, is being conservative a crime?
You can't have intelligent conversations with people who are so ideologically possessed.
Being conservative a crime.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would do, again, the right thing to do, even if it's, tangential or minor, not if it's de minimis. You don't have to apologize for farting on stream if you farted on stream or something like that. But if there's something that, significant enough for someone to say, there are substantial changes that my audience would understand, and maybe Destiny would understand. That sounds like there are actually some things that Lauren would change about what she did in the past. If those things exist, isn't it the right thing to do to say what those things are?
Yeah, but the issue is that there's a lot going on. When you say, for instance, so this is, I don't know if you know where the public conversation, I don't know if you read Reddit threads or whatever the fuck. When you say something like, oh, so your position hasn't changed at all, what do you think most people in my community hear when you say that? And then she says that.
That
you're still a big fat bigot. That's exactly what they hear.
What does she still believe?
The rationale and the substance behind the ultimate underlying so what, whether that's a political position or an outlook or an attitude, that those things are largely stable. And
no, I think that, but the beliefs that they're hearing reaffirmed are that she believes that white people are superior to black people, that there is a concocted effort by Jewish.
She denies she ever believed that. She denies she ever believed that.
Yeah, but most people think will say that she did, or that she's lying now about that.
Do you think she ever did?
Puts Destiny on the spot. Look at that. Holy shit. Destiny's like, why'd you ask me that? Holy shit. Now Destiny, right, in his mind, he's doing like the Terminator thing where it says, sell out my friend or keep my audience. He's like picking between the two. He's like, two unthinkable options. Which way will Destiny go? Will he sell out his friend and keep his audience, or will he stand by his friend who did nothing wrong?
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? Which one do you think he does?
In terms of like some weird anti-Semitic shit, I think it would be hard to believe that she was around all those people and didn't pick up a little bit of that. I don't know if
she sells out his friend. What a fucking I
think you're being too harsh.
What a dick.
I think you're being too harsh.
Look, he's like hard for Destiny's basically saying it's hard for me to imagine that she hung out with Stefan Molyneux and they didn't secretly talk about Jews.
I mean, listen, I find it hard to believe that she didn't hang out with Stefan Molyneux and he didn't ask to count her eggs. Okay.
Oh my God. Well, that's true. That's definitely true.
Ever put that expressly in a video, but like my assumption would be that she probably thought that there was some weird Jewish shit going on. That would be my assumption. I don't know if she would admit that now or not, but
I mean that's a conflict right now. I mean, both of you guys, are friends, and I'm not.
Is Lauren still in the call, or did Lauren talk? Did he just
trying to cause a rift? But like, how don't you want to know? I mean, what you're just saying is that you think that Lauren has just lied.
In terms of what, I don't know. So one, I don't know how much honesty I would expect on a live stream, just as on that, number one. Number two, would I want to know what somebody believed a long time ago? Well, I'll say a long time ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
But no, you just said that Lauren just lied.
Wait, hold on. Okay, let's be.
Where did Lauren go? What happened to Lauren?
She's just letting it. She wants to hear Destiny squirm. Okay.
Okay. Well, she's
let him dig the hole. Yeah.
She's better than me because I'd be jumping. I'd be jumping the fuck in
motherfucker.
There. Yeah, exactly. Like you sell out, fucking sell out.
Let's be clear, Lauren. Did you ever? Now earlier,
how can you do this?
We were talking about the content of her video.
Look at that. Did you hear that? You hear what she just said?
How can you do this to me? She's joking.
How can you do this to me?
She said in a joking voice.
Sure, it was joking. Sure, it was. I'm not sure. Destiny doesn't know it was joking.
Okay.
Lauren, did you ever believe in some weird Jewish shit? Maybe it might have been some Jewish people running shit. Maybe at some point that you didn't put in a video.
No.
Really? Never? Not a single time?
I read about it, of course, but I never really
hold on. Was there any part of you that wondered, like, man, there really are a lot of Jews?
Did she say she read about it?
Yeah.
She's like, I did read Ebola once. and I thought he was fucking crazy. That's so weird because.
Well, basically, the argument Destiny is saying is that she was in circles with people who did openly espouse this stuff.
Yeah.
And so he's saying, well, he's skeptical that some of it didn't rub off on her.
Right.
Right. And then she's like, well, I did read stuff because she was in those spheres. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this before, that uncomfortable, somebody in your friend group, some new person in the friend group says something that you're like, wow, that's kind of racist as shit. But you're like, I'm not going to hang out with this guy anymore. So I just,
right.
Maybe I'm better off just letting it go. So
I'm
sure there's plenty of that kind of shit that goes on. But I'm sure, that kind of shit probably goes on in leftist circles just with like pedo shit. Like, why is this guy bringing up the fucking Mr.
age of
Girl,
consent?
Shut up already, okay? We don't want to hear about it.
Listen, first time meeting a friend group, don't bring up the age of consent conversation. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. It's
right.
Exactly.
Obviously, what you should do the first time you meet someone in a friend group is you bring up the POV question. That's a much better jumping point.
We don't want to hear about how you have cuties on Blu-ray. Okay,
no, right.
Please stop. Yeah.
So, temper your degeneracy.
Yeah.
Jewish bankers, a lot of Jewish dudes in U.S. media. You talk to a lot of these people that believe this stuff. Like, you'd never in any part of your life, like, maybe there's a little thing to like this. Jewish.
There's the only thing I.
Okay, there you go. Okay, that's all I need. Okay.
Shit. No, like the only thing I would say to that is probably like what leftists would agree with anyways, is that there's a lot of power in like the Zionist lobby. Sure, for sure.
Well, okay, there you go. Yeah, that's all I need to hear. That's close enough for me.
People, Jews controlling the world now. Okay.
Sure. But
Lawrence Southern, do you believe in Jewish sectional interests?
Oh shit. What is that? I don't even know what that is.
I couldn't get it. Well, he Quackademic is too scared to. He gave me some answer.
But did you look it
pretty
up?
Generic,
is it in the Urban Dictionary? Can I look it up?
I did Google it and I didn't get anything, and then but I didn't Google sectional interest, which apparently was the key here.
Right.
Basically, it's a nice way of saying, do you think that the Jews have some kind of monolithic political policy that they advocate for?
How much money do you give to the
outside
Jewish
of Israel,
lobby every year? Said
let me think.
Like 50%
they take 10% automatically during our Secret Jew Wednesday meetings.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Secret Jew Thursday meetings. White Guy Wednesdays or Wednesday. On our Secret Jew Thursday meetings, they take 20%.
Damn it.
Automatically. So.
Damn it. I think I missed White Guy Wednesday.
Yeah, you did. Where were you last Wednesday?
I've been working a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, listen. They're like, where's Adam? We got to make sure he's a good white guy. And I'm like, listen, he's working on the comic. Okay. And they're like, that's unacceptable. They were very upset they're very upset. They're like, I can't believe you guys are fighting Hitler in the comic. As a white guy, this is very problematic.
Really? That was your idea. Oh wait, I think it was my idea, but you came up with the offensive quotes, I think, was your contribution to that nightmare.
It was your idea, I think, originally that we'd fight Hitler, and then I made it so much worse, and you wanted to back out, and I was like, listen.
We got to go full bore.
We're fighting Hitler.
Sitch was like, we got to go pedal to the metal here.
I was like, listen, they're going to have a hilarious page where we're wearing KKK outfits fighting Hitler. With burning crosses in the background. It'll be great.
Yeah. And then when I drew it, I was like, I'll make them crosses fucking burn.
You're like, Sage, we can't do this. We're going to get canceled.
I know. Oh, God. Pisco's not going to come on after this. Why?
We're fighting Hitler. What do you mean?
I know. Yeah. It's amazing.
Hitler but now my guess would be, I'm not trying to walk you this because Pisco is a simp in this conversation, okay? My guess would be is that you would probably see those financial structures a little bit less tied to Jewish people today and more just like a lot of people have, or a few people have a lot of money that are in like invested in like guiding the political conversation in some way. And these people, like a lot of them happen to be Jewish, but it's not like.
Sure, dude. I'm gonna grab some more wine.
Fuck you. Okay, well, there, I tried.
Well, I think she's saying "fuck you." I never believe that garbage. But
yes,
I mean, obviously,
right.
If someone was interrogating me in this fashion, I would not have any patience for it. Like, I would just be like, "Fuck you too."
Well, hold on a second. It depends who you are and what you said, right? Now, I understand that Lauren's had this conversation like a million times, so she's probably tired. But it's not like you don't have Adam Friended does not have a history of saying sussy baka anti-Jew comments, right?
No.
So it'd be very weird if someone was like,
I don't listen. I used to watch Lauren Southern's videos, and I don't. Nothing jumped out as like really, like the Jews are the problem.
No,
like,
right. I'm just saying. I'm not saying for her. I'm just saying you can't universally say you can't ask someone these questions.
You can't ask them if they make some sus video, but I mean, even the Great Replacement video that they're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't think.
I mean, she's not mentioning the fucking Jews are responsible for this,
right?
Like, what is inspiring this line of questioning?
Yeah,
they are literally fishing. They're literally just fishing,
right?
And that's why she's getting upset about it and she said in the very beginning of the conversation, you know, there's this completely crazy narrative out there about me that's completely untrue. That's not based in any kind of factual analysis of my work. She said nobody ever watches her videos and points to specific things.
There's a way to have this conversation in a more intelligent manner.
Right.
Which would be, when you were hanging out with X, I don't know, whoever the fucking specific person is that Destiny
Stefan Molyneux. Yeah. Stefan Molyneux has definitely, I've heard Stefan Molyneux say shit that I'm like,
right.
Okay.
Or other people, whatever, say, when you hung out with those people and they made these comments or these views, like, did you think they were serious? Did you think they were joking? Did you, or did you just think, oh, I don't believe that? Like, I mean, I'd be just curious from a personal perspective, someone who interacts with a bunch of racists, what their experience is with that. Right. So I think you can have a conversation in that way without doing it in this kind of fishing expedition.
Well, maybe we'll get
I think it is fishing.
Maybe because she says, and Destiny makes some very funny jokes about writing a manifesto. Like maybe manifesto is not the best term for what she's writing, but maybe she'll out some of these people because I'm certain they're.
Well, the question isn't. You don't need to out anyone because that's name taking. I'm not saying someone needs to be name taken. And you don't even have to name anyone. I guess actually, just get rid of the names and just be like, okay, when you were in these communities, were you ever in a situation where like someone would drop the JQ and you'd be like, oh, that's fucking weird. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
that could be an interesting conversation as opposed to doing it this way.
Hold on, okay? I need you to grab a towel, okay? Because you might be feeling pretty slippery after this question, okay?
Okay.
Do you think that you probably this is such a mean question. I'm sorry. Do you think you probably have some level of responsibility for Christchurch? That guy, you don't think that any of the stuff you said could have bled down into any other people that reverberated or resonated with like the same types of messaging? That's like totally.
Nope, not even a little bit. Not even a tiny bit. I have these people tweet me shit all the time that's like, oh, I bet you can barely sleep seeing dead bodies in your dreams. And I'm like, dude, I sleep just fine. Like, I know I'm not responsible for that at fucking all. The guy had decided to commit the massacre 4 months before I even came out with the video. There's zero responsibility I have for that attack. None. Zero.
So Christchurch was 4 months before she even made this Great Replacement video. That's a pretty powerful argument that the two were completely unrelated.
Is that true, Pisco? Bring up the logs.
Well, I honestly don't know. I didn't
gonna get red.
Look, nobody knows, nobody cares because they've all bought into the fake narrative that Lauren Southern's video was responsible for Christchurch, which is just a fucking lie. People are so gullible. So much of the internet is just people putting out content because people want to believe something, and they're like, I'll fill that niche. People want to believe this person's a Nazi. Here, let me fill that niche for them. I can blow up on social media if I just fill this niche of the thing people want to believe.
Reddit threads on you, Pisco. You better bring them up.
The reason I talked to you, to Destiny, was about the abstract of why, if someone were to feel apologetic, or if someone did feel guilty for anything, that it would make sense, notwithstanding the short-term pain, to express.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. That's not really our conversation. The real conversation that we were kind of like dancing around, that we were earlier, is like, would I hold other people to the same set of standards that I hold myself to? And I think the answer to that is largely no. But so I think that's kind of where some of our like weird like dancing was, right?
But it sounds, Destiny, like Lauren's saying it, right? And you've known her longer than I have. This is the first time meeting you, Lauren. You know, nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
But everything you're saying, Destiny, sounds like you're doubting her. It sounds
doubting.
like
Wait, hold on, wait. Doubting which part?
Skeptical. And
wait. Doubting which part?
Doubting her refutation of any link to Christchurch, which I can't speak to.
Okay, I can't speak to that because now I don't know the fact of the matter. If you really just start planning it 4 months beforehand, or she's lying about that, I don't actually know that fact of the matter. If it was the case that the guy had written up all of those plans before her video even released, well, then I would be an idiot to try to accuse her of being like wildly influential there, because then obviously the plans were already written up. But I don't know factually.
So according to the Christchurch guy's manifesto, he said, I believe he said he started coming up with his plan to enact violence in February of 2017.
Okay.
And I think her video came out in like April or May. So.
Yeah. Listen, Lauren, were you inspired by the Christchurch shooter? Tell us. Did you make your video because of the Christchurch?
No. This, because the shooting took place in 2019.
Oh,
but he's saying that the guy in his manifesto said he started planning it in like February of 2017.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So, or I don't know if he probably didn't plan what specifics, but he claims this is when he got the idea to commit some kind of fucking horrible, thing.
He started planning it 4 months. Oh, so he was planning it 4 months before she came out with the video.
With her
and
video,
then she comes out with the video after it's already planned, and then it happens after.
Well, no. It's not like he didn't plan to do his shooting and then sat on it for 2 years. Okay.
Okay.
But he's saying that he
Give me the
planned
timeline. I can take it.
Okay, so the timeline is he's in his manifesto. He talks about he started to get radicalized. In 2016, 2017.
Right.
But the shooting doesn't occur until 2019.
Right.
But in his manifesto, right. So 2 years later. But in the manifesto, he says, I think it was either February or January of 2017 is when he started to get the idea formulated in his mind to commit some kind of mass shooting,
right?
Terrorist act.
Okay.
And then her video came out, in April or May. So she's saying, obviously, her video did not put the idea in his mind. He was already formulating this idea himself.
Right.
So.
Gotcha.
Lauren has said that there's some things that she would change. They're forthcoming on what those things particularly are. But in substance, her rationale and her views haven't changed, nor her actions. I didn't know if the boat thing, that was a meme. I think part of it was a meme, but I'm sure there's some truth in it.
Ask her. Grill her about the boats, Pisco.
Over 100.
Ask her if she would go on the boats again. Ask her for real. She memed about it earlier.
About
yeah, don't let her meme away it. Ask her if she would go on the boats again.
Well, would you?
My only regret is that I didn't have a higher kill count.
Don't let her meme away from it. She's being slipped.
Her kill count was 0. Jeez.
I know. Well, that's why she wanted a higher one.
Yeah. Wow.
Free
At least double.
Dude.
Double? Sitch, I hate to tell you this, but that double 0 would still be 0.
Oh, thank you. That was the joke.
Flare gun I picked was shit.
She's memeing. Pisco, have a fucking spine.
Fuck, and I needed backup.
Have a fucking spine.
If you did, wouldn't it be important to communicate that was a mistake? Even if it was
dude, I would have fucking taken a much better weapon. Absolute fucking.
Don't let her meme it, Pisco.
Flare gun.
Lauren, answer the fucking question.
How
Lauren,
many boats can you take down
Lauren,
with a flare gun?
You gotta answer the question. Lauren, you gotta answer the
me.
fucking question, okay? Go drink another glass of wine if you need to. But we're holding you to it. Do you think it was a mistake?
He said, do I admit that it was a mistake? Yeah, I told him the flare gun was a mistake. I would have taken a
Going on the boats.
Going on the boats. You don't even know what happened with the boats, man. Like, I'm not having this conversation with you.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know what happened with the boats. Yeah. I'm completely in the dark about the boats.
I'm trying to remember. It was something like they would drive around and find boats that were legally trying to sneak into the country or something, and they would try to alert the Coast Guard to them.
They were doing a Minutemen type thing.
Right.
Okay.
They were snitching, basically.
And she used a flare gun to alert the Coast Guard to come round up the boat immigrants.
Right. Lawrence Snitcher.
Right. Okay.
Hey, Pisco, here's what happened on the boats. They sailed out on a dinghy and they shot flares around, trying to either turn around another boat or send a message, okay? Was it a mistake?
You don't even know what happened on the boat, so
wait, what did I just say?
See? He doesn't even know. He doesn't know.
It was wrong. Wait, hold on. What did I just say that was wrong?
You don't even, you're like, I think they were trying to turn around a boat. I'm not sure.
I mean, like, if you guys did, you would have considered it, like, mission complete, right? Don't tell me that if a boat would have turned around.
Wasn't she trying to alert the Coast Guard? I thought it was.
I thought that's what she was trying to do.
Yeah. I mean,
I thought that's what the people out there were trying to do, like the organization or whatever it was.
You'd be like, oh no, that wasn't our intention at all. Soy, oh no. You obviously would have felt a great sense of accomplishment if that actually happened.
If I turned around an illegal trafficking boat, for sure.
Okay, wait, then hold on. Well, then don't be like, oh, that wasn't our goal, blah, blah. Maybe that wasn't the goal, but if it would have happened, you would have been okay with it. So, yeah, also, I don't think the boat was operating illegally at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, also, are you, wait, the Aquarius or whatever? Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was an unregistered, illegally operating vessel that, wait, what do you mean?
They were not allowed to be doing what they were doing, but they were fucking getting away with it.
Assume that I know nothing about it, and I say, Lauren, I've heard that there was a boat incident. I heard that, you've been maligned.
I heard there was a boat incident.
I heard that you've been maligned, that you didn't want to hurt anybody. You've said as much. But do you, not knowing anything about it, I just want to know your take. Do you regret going on that boat? You think that question is unreasonable?
Honestly, no, I don't think it would have changed anything. I think all the same people that called me a Nazi and all these names anyways would have kept calling me the same shit.
I'm not asking what the behavior of others. I'm saying
for you, for your own spirit, for your own soul.
The boat thing only had a PR effect. That's the only effect it had on anything in the world. It didn't do anything. Realistically, like, I know it would be very based and cool to say, oh, I personally stopped all of this illegal no, like, nothing happened. It's just like a PR thing. And now the only effect on my life is that a bunch of people think I killed a bunch of immigrants. But when I think about it, I think those people would find a way to say I killed a bunch of immigrants anyways. So it's like,
they totally Kyle Rittenhoused her. You know how people believe Kyle Rittenhouse shot a bunch of black people? This is exactly what they believe about Lauren Southern, that she killed a bunch of immigrants.
Well, I think the argument was that the people were claiming that the ship wasn't illegally ferrying people into whatever country she was at, but that it was looking to see if there was refugees or migrants who were drowning or something. And so there's an argument about what exactly the boat was doing. And I don't know if some conclusion was ever reached for any of this stuff.
Okay. The Coast Guard never investigated?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they did.
This was the
it wasn't the Coast Guard because this wasn't in America.
This was the observably manifest behavior that cost her Patreon, right?
Yes, right.
And made Jack, what is that guy still around? I mean,
I assume he's still around.
I don't know. Patreon's still around, but
they might
zero like positive or negative. I wouldn't change
do that, but unfortunately, I wasn't asking about the consequences. What I was asking was whether it was a mistake to participate.
Whether it was a mistake to participate?
For your own conscience, your own ideas, whether in terms of your.
I'm against illegal migration. I
didn't ask if you were against illegal migration. I asked whether the method, the manifestation of your antipathy towards immigration was a mistake or not.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that more.
This is so fucking fishing. This is like so fishing. I mean, nothing happened. Nobody died. Nobody.
Well, her
right?
career, that definitely happened.
Yeah, because they painted her as a
right
as being doing something dangerous. Was it dangerous? I don't know. She shot a flare gun in the air. Are they saying the flare gun landed on the? I mean, if the flare gun landed on the boat with the immigrants and it burned up and they all died, I think maybe okay.
There you go.
Probably that's a huge fuck up that we should probably. I mean, she'd probably be in jail still. She shot a fucking flare in the air. I don't even know. I thought the Coast Guard went over and got her in trouble or something. I vaguely remember watching the video because of she lost her Patreon and that was a huge story. And
yes,
Jack, what's his name, went on Dave Rubin and
Jack Murphy.
That's right. The CEO.
Guy who runs Patreon, who also lets people fuck his wife.
He's not. It wasn't Jack Murphy. It was some other guy.
Are you sure? Okay.
Are this guys all named Jack? What was his
why is
name?
everyone named Jack? What the fuck's going on?
I don't
here?
remember, but I do. I mean, I do remember it seeming to be unfair and obviously calculated to strip Lauren Southern of her Patreon. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
That's what it was, because everyone was like, it was, because before, if you remember, Patreon's thing was you would only get in trouble for things on platform.
Right.
And then after that incident, so many people called and wrote into Patreon and say, you have to cancel Lauren. That's when they kind of created their observable manifest behavior model or whatever.
She lit a full boat of immigrants on fire. They all drowned. You know, that's what they were saying.
Right.
They always cook up crazy shit. This is why Lauren is so indignant about this, because this is the email she gets. You killed a whole boat full of immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, I didn't. Okay. God, go away. It's so annoying. How annoying is it?
Make her think now, Pisco. What's she doing?
Well, I think that, you've been confronted by this very question so often that I think it strains credulity to say that you haven't thought about it.
True. Good point.
I've thought about it a lot, and like I said, the whole thing was a net zero either way. It's not really. The only thing it did was
his real problem. I'm looking at this article about this boating incident. All these groups have these really fucking weird racist names.
Which ones?
Like, that are all involved in this, like, anti-immigration stuff. Like, Defend Europe.
Right.
It's like, what do you mean defend? Defended from what exactly?
From like the invaders, the invading hordes. Don't you know? Come on.
Right. It's like, I don't know. Pretty sus name there. Defend Europe. We have to defend Europe from the hordes of the immigrants coming in. It's like, okay, come on.
Do you have a position on immigration? I mean,
generation identity.
Oh,
These
yeah,
that's what I'm telling you. Like, these are very sus names.
Yeah.
And it's framed in a very specific way, which is the problem too. But do I have a personal stance on immigration?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really care. I mean, I'm anti-illegal immigration.
Well, no,
in terms of what should America have more or less immigration? I don't really care.
I was thinking about it just during this live stream. I mean, I never really thought about it before, but it really does seem like assimilation is the bottleneck.
Yeah, to me, I have a very strong opinion on assimilation.
Right.
Which is that
so do I.
Incredibly pro-assimilation. In terms of actual immigration, I don't really have a strong opinion one or the other.
But if there was some magical ability to just assimilate people just in mass.
Like when you pass the U.S. border, you walk
you just automatically speak English.
The Dr. Seuss America Sneetch's Star On machine. Right.
They make you super patriotic and you love your country and
you instantly know English
based.
and adhere to all Western American liberal values, like punctuality.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We have to go walk through that machine.
Oh yeah, I guess you could make them renew once a year.
Okay.
I mean, I think I'd be having more people would be great. I mean, that's
well, I'm sure there's some. I mean,
Right.
some number of people you don't want to have too many of for crowding purposes, but
I don't know. Seems like we have a lot of empty space out in like the
we
plain
do. But the
states
thing
and
is,
stuff.
people don't like population patterns. It's not like people spread out. They all kind of congregate in certain areas.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, the bottleneck really is the assimilation. And then if you
Yeah,
got
I
people
agree.
coming here that don't even want to assimilate, oh yeah, turn around.
we'll throw them out. Yeah, but
Go back.
right.
Yeah. So the conversation should really be around that.
Right. No, I agree. The conversation should be about assimilation. And if
Right.
there isn't going to be assimilation or enough assimilation, then you say, okay, well, then we need to limit immigration for that reason.
Mm-hmm. What if we could entice, like the smartest people from all, like the top 10% smartest people in all the countries to come here?
That's what we do. What do you mean?
Well, and we had our magic machine. It would be just, I mean, that would be heaven.
Right.
Every single other country would get 10% dumber.
Good.
Yeah.
Fuck
it'd
'em.
be great. It'd be
It's
awesome.
actually, it's funny. That's an argument that like Richard Spencer and the white separatist nationalists would make. They're like, it's not right for America to take all the smartest non-white people away from their countries.
They would make that argument?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I think maybe they're making that for other reasons, but
Oh, really? You think they're
yeah.
shocking? Shocking.
Kind of change perception. And I don't know if I would want to change perception about me. I don't know. That's
Wouldn't you?
Okay, wait, hold on. Also, we need to ask the consequence here of the action, right? If you were to, like, let's say that you were to take aim with a gun, you got really mad one day, you looked outside and you fired a gun into a group of kids and you happen to miss all of them, but you were just so mad, you're like, fuck, I'm going to fire a gun, right? And then somebody would ask you, like, do you regret doing that? And you're like, well, I didn't hit anybody, so that's okay. I don't think the consequence is what's being appealed to here. I think it was like the
okay.
idea.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna admit something. I wouldn't do it today, but part of me just hates the people that criticize me for it. So I just don't want to say that.
Wow,
So it's somewhat
spite-driven politics. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Lauren, I'm gonna hook you up. There's a guy called Vosh V. Okay, you guys are gonna get along so well politically. You can do a podcast.
What just happened?
I'd literally rather have all of these people hate me. Like, I'd rather have them hate me than sit here and simp for these fucking...
Lauren, I took you on good faith that you weren't going to do this kind of thing. You weren't going to be engaged in a virtue signal or occulting.
You've turned on my good faith.
I
Pisco.
literally don't understand what he's talking about.
Pisco, this is not. Come on, you can't be serious about this.
I don't even understand what
I've
the
come
fuck
in
he's
here
referring
with good
to.
faith and accuse you of racism. How dare you turn on my good faith like this?
Any responsibility or mistake that you might have had. And what you've just told me is that the reason why you haven't admitted it before is because you don't want to give the satisfaction to the left is precisely what Destiny said, that you rejected. Minutes
Well,
before.
I think it was...
So, but see, this is oh, Pisco. Listen. Okay, how you basically just proven Destiny and Lauren's point that she can't apologize for anything.
Yeah.
She can't say, oh, maybe I changed my mind. Maybe I wouldn't do that again or something. Because as soon as she does, you go, oh, wait a minute, gotcha, bing bong boom. How are people supposed to be honest or change if you can't allow them to be honest? You have to incentivize people to be honest, don't you?
I mean, yeah. The incentive is be honest or we're going to kick the shit out of you.
Right, but this is incentivizing people to be dishonest.
This is, yeah.
Right.
All of this nonsense is dishonest to the core anyway. All the people claiming that they just have lost sleep because Lauren Southern went out and shot a flare in the air are fucking bullshitters. I don't believe any one of them.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So I mean, why are you gonna submit to the liars?
Right. Well, let me go back. I want to hear this again.
Okay, you guys are gonna get along so well politically. You can do a podcast.
What just happened?
I'd literally
There it is.
I'm gonna admit something. I wouldn't do it today, but part of me just hates the people that criticize me for it, so I just don't want to say that.
Wow.
So it's somewhat
spite-driven politics. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Lauren.
Well, also, you can't castigate her for saying she changed her opinion because she didn't even say why she wanted to do it for today either.
I'm gonna hook you up. There's a guy called Vosh V. Okay, you guys are gonna get along so well politically. You can do a podcast.
What just happened?
I'd literally rather have all of these people hate me. Like, I'd rather have them hate me than sit here and simp for these fucking...
Lauren, I took you on good faith that you weren't going to do this kind of thing. You weren't going to be engaged in a virtue signal or occulting any responsibility or mistake that you might have had. And what you've just told me is that the reason why you haven't admitted it before is because you don't want to give the satisfaction to the leftists. Precisely what Destiny said, that you rejected.
Well, I think it was, so earlier wait, I'm not simping, go, Lauren.
Wait, no, what were you saying?
So
hold on, wait, I was combining the two things that I said earlier was that it's not just one thing, it's a combination of things.
No, exactly, yeah, it is a combination
But one of those combination things is like if there's no negative outcome, plus if there's no positive outcome to recanting today, and you're going to give the satisfaction to a bunch of fucking losers.
She denied that rationale. She said, under no circumstances would I do that.
That is true. True. What other spite-driven lack of disavowals are in there, Lauren?
There's no shot. I'm not making any disavowals. Everyone who hates me in your schizo posts and Reddit, I hope you know I wish I shot more flares. I hate you.
Well, see, but why would she ever have any conversation with Pisco ever going forward after that? You just incentivize her to never talk to you again.
Yeah.
And never talk to you again, honestly, especially, too.
The faux indignation at the
gotcha.
end.
Just for a gotcha that wasn't even really a gotcha. I mean, I don't even really understand how it's a gotcha, but maybe I'm missing something here.
I came in here with good faith. I was honest with you, Lauren. I told you how I really felt about you, and you totally crap all over my... No. I put my reputation on the line for you.
Oh, I know. I came in here as a bastion of good faith.
Yeah.
I just wanted a crumb of good faith. I was on my hands and my knees, Lauren. I said, please, a crumb of good faith that you just spit in my face.
I'm so glad we don't have an audience that just, wants us to jump through these hoops. This is insane.
We have an audience.
People doing this.
We have some people in our audience who wants to jump through different hoops, but being the ultimate Sigma males.
What hoops are you talking about?
We T-pose away and say, get fucked.
Did we? Are we supposed to? I don't know. There's no hoops. No one told me about any hoops. But
okay.
You have a hoop that someone wants you to jump?
What do you mean? Of course, there are people in the audience who go. There are people in the audience. Fucking Chris was whining about me not fucking patting Quack on the head and petting his little cheeks and sitting on my lap and trying to be like.
Dave too. You're right. Dave too.
Quack, I want you. Listen, Quack. Let's have a conversation where I won't talk about the fact that you think Jewish intersectional power controls America. Okay. Jewish sectional power.
Somebody today told me on Twitter that they lost a lot of respect for us over these exchanges.
Oh, my God.
I blocked his ass. I was like, fuck you.
I've lost so much respect. You won't engage with the Jewish question in an honest fashion, Sitch. I've lost so much respect for you.
That is like it is a type of
fainting couch.
It is a type of manipulation to say that you've lost respect for somebody.
Of course it is.
I didn't do anything. We haven't done anything wrong with Dave. Okay, nothing. yeah, none our interactions have been
well, with Dave, it's a
completely
different
justified.
issue. With Dave, it's a different issue. I don't think Dave is racist. I think I just can't fucking get to the bottom of what the fuck he believes. That's a completely different issue. But
yeah.
You too. Yeah, I'm gonna drink some wine and consider my next trip out to the Mediterranean, where I'm gonna do absolutely nothing wrong, FBI. I'm gonna sit there and write poetry.
We have the live Lauren can on stream right now, guys.
I saved this city.
Okay, anyway. What else, guys?
I think that that clearly you guys have like I like your guys' streams together at times. I think that you guys have like a good rapport, and I think that you guys both have a lot that you can learn from each other.
There's a weird thing going on here too, because isn't Pisco? Why do I keep saying that? Isn't Pisco a regular on the Destiny streams?
And I don't think so. I think he's been on a couple times. I don't know if he's a regular. But I don't know, maybe he's
I think Lauren is kind of a regular too.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe more so than him.
Kind of a story arc going here where
I see.
Pisco might not be on the show anymore, and Lauren might be on more and more. And
okay.
Pisco's been demoted.
Mayhaps.
I don't know.
Perchance.
That would be bad for Pisco.
Okay, I'm not shipping you, or I'm not doing anything like that. All I'm saying is, I think that there would be a lot less issues with your community, and that in the long term, things would be better for you. There'd be reasonable people who could sympathize with you, Lauren, if there was more upfrontness with certain things.
That's such a veiled threat. That is such a veiled threat. Things would be better for you with your community.
Listen, you got a nice community here. It'd be a shame if something would have happened to it.
It's so like, what's going on? What's wrong? What happened?
This is like the police officer who is like, listen, it'll be much better for you if you just talk to us and are upfront from the beginning.
Yeah. So we can arrest you.
So we can arrest you and charge you.
Yeah. Don't talk to the cops that way, guys.
Right.
I'm not going to specify on what those things are at the moment, but this is an example of one that just occurred. And I think that there are more open-minded people out there than you think. And we're all cynics, and you are all going to call me coping. And certainly people on Twitter are never going to give you the benefit of the doubt, Lauren. But there are reasonable people out there. And I think you're boxing yourself in.
She's already won the reasonable people over. What's he talking about, Sitch? She's already won the reasonable people over.
Yeah, but he thinks he's reasonable.
Just with.
Oh, you're right. You're right. He thinks he's in the reasonable camp, and
right,
he
but
hasn't
he's not,
been won
because
over. Yeah, he's totally unreasonable.
But I think that this is my problem with this whole thing. It's like, I don't have, and I just say this, I don't have enough knowledge at the time to look into, I didn't follow Lauren Southern at the time, and I definitely didn't spend some, hours researching this to form some, opinion that I'm going to make on this. And I don't think that 99% of the people on the internet who are cascading her, they haven't done any of this shit either.
I totally
they don't watch
agree.
the real stuff.
Yeah. Yep. True. Yeah. They're just bitching and moaning. They're like, oh, she's on the right, I'm on the left, gotta assassinate.
Well, it's all like, oh, I remember some vague idea of a thing that she did back in the time.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Having such hate for the left and not wanting to give them an inch. Maybe in the short term, you benefit from it. Maybe in the short, I'm not going to deny, in the short term, you benefit from them. And in the,
to be fair, I hate the right too. So
yeah, okay. But I think you're boxing yourself in, and I think that there's more to your story, and you don't have to hold on to positions out of spite and to deny any change if there is change. That's all I would say to you, and I hope it was an interesting conversation at the least.
Yeah, no, it was nice talking to you. I'm sorry. I'm just so used to. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for anything. I'm so used to talking to people that just haven't watched any of my videos, haven't engaged with the content, wanting to get apologies from me, and I can never tell. Maybe you are good faith. Actually, you do seem like a nice dude. I actually enjoy talking to you, even if we have some major disagreements. But I can never tell who's doing it to try to get a Lauren scalp or who's doing it because they're genuinely curious. And obviously on a stream, that is, it's always going to skew more towards, they just want a Lauren scalp. Especially when it's like so non-specific, like just give me an apology. And I'm not saying that that's what you were doing, but of course that's my initial instinct.
I know that's totally what he was doing.
Pisco, you should apologize for seeming like that's what you were doing.
Maybe we can get an apology out of Pisco for Lauren, and that would help our profile. Then we would really be moving up. Yeah.
Would you like to apologize?
Pisco, yeah. Please apologize to Lauren. We will deliver the apology, and your community will hate your guts, but you'll feel better. Yeah.
There you go.
And also, your community is a bunch of like super mean people who are never going to forgive you or forget about this. So your career is basically over, but you'll feel good. You'll feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. And to be clear, and to say it equivocally, from my perspective, I think that I'm aligning with Destiny in terms of what I thought your positioning was early on. I think there has been somewhat of a change. And I don't think that this is going to sound super patronizing and it's not intended that way. But just to show you that,
do it.
I think you are redeemable.
Holy shit. Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Oh, no.
You are redeemable. Sitch, I want you to know something.
Yes.
I think you're redeemable.
Oh, listen.
Don't you feel good now? Don't you
feel good in my heart?
Right.
I can feel the love of leftism.
I mean,
you can be redeemed. You can be saved. Just come up here and admit your sins on stage before the congregation.
Is Pisco a socialist? I don't know. I don't know if he.
I have no clue, but he's definitely.
He said the leftist word, but I don't. Sometimes
everyone uses the word leftist differently. So,
Sitch, you're so redeemable if you just get your shit together. Okay, if you just stop being such a fucking bitch, you'd totally be redeemable.
If you would just stop being a lying, racist piece of shit. Then you could be redeemed.
I got to tell you, Lauren, it's within your grasp.
It is
just
right
knock off the bigotry. Grasp. Renounce conservatism.
Renounce. Wait, where's this thing?
Exactly.
Which one is it? Is it this one? Renounce. Give into the words of the leftism. Okay, we're done.
Give your love to Vosh.
Jesus.
And I think
I don't want your redemption. I don't want anyone's redemption. That's why I'd rather have these people hate me. Everyone who talks to me like I'm a retarded child that needs to like get on my knees and beg for forgiveness, I want them all to hate me. I don't actually want that, but okay.
You don't need to humble yourself. You don't need to beg forgiveness. You don't need to do anything like that, in my opinion. Again, I don't know your life. I can't speak for what is the best thing. But I think standing up and admitting fault is one of the hardest things to do, especially when
especially when you've done nothing wrong. That's when it's the hardest. That is when it's the hardest.
I know.
Yeah, when you're innocent and you have to plead guilty, that's when it's the most difficult. But you have to do it. Leftism commands it.
You have been unfairly characterized. It would be even harder to stand up and admit.
He admits it.
Significant but not substantial hardest things. You don't need to do anything like.
I don't actually want that, but okay.
You don't need to humble yourself. You don't need to beg forgiveness. You don't need to do anything like that, in my opinion. Again, I don't know your life. I can't speak for what is the best thing. But I think standing up and admitting fault is one of the hardest things to do, especially if you feel you have been unfairly characterized. It would be even harder to stand up and admit significant but not substantial ways in which you would change things. But I think that it's the right thing to do if that exists in your own mind. And I think that there are people who respect you for it.
Tell you what, man, we'll have a conversation after I do. I'm doing this. It's all going to come out in June. This little manifesto I'm working on. I think you seem pretty open-minded, even though we've got a lot of disagreements. I think you'll appreciate the videos I'm working on, but I don't expect a lot of the people who schizo post about me to appreciate them. They'll probably just find some interesting bits they can clip to attack the right and not really think deeper about how the criticisms I'm making can apply to both sides, sadly. But yeah, watch them, and maybe we'll do another live stream late June.
Wow. When is your next documentary coming out?
Next week, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, next week.
Do you think that maybe, I don't want to condescend you or give you life advice, but do you think that maybe you're probably not a good person to make things called manifestos?
That's a solid joke.
I'm just saying that, like, for branding and optics.
You're the white male writing a manifesto right now.
Okay, true. Also, okay, hold on. I swear to God, okay? I know this is going to seem really bad faith. I'm not trying to, like, attack you personally or anything, okay? I'm sending a clip to you and Pisco. Okay, these are, like, the things when you say things like this, I just don't know, like, in past videos. I think this comes out of one of the, I think this was on your personal channel, not the Rebel Media one. Here, I'm sending you this link.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, she worked for Rebel Media. I forgot about that.
It's just a meme, isn't it? He just said,
What is this?
I hate you so much. Holy shit.
I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm done. All right, thanks for the conversation, guys. It's been a good stream. Are we all good? We're all done?
Yeah, we're all good. Nice talking to you guys.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, great chatting.
Have fun. Good night, guys.
Bye-bye.
amazing.
How you guys doing? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
We can. What's
How goes
up?
it? How you doing this night?
No, I hope you're going to be
Listen.
good faith with us here.
Are
Oh,
you
yeah,
going
always
to
good faith.
apologize?
I'll apologize for
Lauren
anything you
Southern.
want me to.
Okay.
Oh, really?
No,
We
no,
want
not
an
anything.
we
I'm
want
just
an
memeing.
apology. We want an apology for Lauren
apologize.
Southern.
Okay.
We
For
I
Lauren
want you to
Southern on her
apologize.
behalf?
no,
You're asking me to apologize to her.
To her,
To
yeah,
her.
exactly.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want me to apologize? Just a general
For
apology that covers
fishing
everything?
for an apology.
I don't really think that that's what I was doing. I think that
It
people who
felt
think that
like
didn't really understand the purpose of why I was coming in the way I was.
why?
But I'm happy to sort of
We
I guess, elaborate
first
on what.
Explain yourself.
Yeah. Sure.
Pisco. First of all, I want to let you know that we're only joking around here. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
We
You
don't.
guys are actually
yeah.
pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
you guys are funny guys.
Thank
We
you.
don't want-
Well, now I
we-
can't be mean to you. 'Cause you
I
said
know.
you're funny. Damn it!
Well,
Even your chat. There were some good ones. Someone called me Urine Factory. Sorry, hang on, I have a call. One moment.
What?
that's okay. He's on a call, so we can read another
That's
super
fine.
chat or something. Tell us if tell us if our commentary didn't seem accurate to you, or did we get anything wrong? I mean, you listened to a little bit of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think by and large, I thought your commentary was
Genius.
a little bit skewed, I'd say.
No.
I think you were a little not so charitable with my question and why I was asking the things I was asking. And I
Right.
think that that's fair because someone who's just watching that video cold, it does look like I'm fishing just to get her to apologize over nothing. But the
Right.
purpose of my conversation going into it was actually not Lauren facing.
Mhm.
Right.
Destiny
Okay.
facing.
You're trying to
And-
protect Destiny's
No,
reputation.
not to protect Destiny,
Okay.
to castigate Destiny.
Right.
Oh,
Show him that he's
nice.
an idiot.
For
Oh,
not
okay.
for not disavowing Lauren.
No, for giving a stupid rationale for the past 3 or 4 months. He was the one who was saying Lauren has changed. He just doesn't want to admit it to the crowd. He just doesn't want to admit it to the left wing because they'll never accept it. And she just wants to make more money. And if she admits it, she's going to be poor. That was his rationale.
I see.
And so when I was asking multiple times, you stand by every single word, right? You haven't changed at all, right? You haven't. That wasn't, even though it sounded like I was just trying to fish for an apology from her. The point was Destiny facing, showing you like, look, she said at the start of this conversation, she's going to be honest 100%. No one wants to admit that they're grifting. No one wants to admit that they're like lying about any change.
Or that they're a racist, or that they believe in the fucking Jew.
Yeah, or that they're a racist. Listen, on the substance, people just disagree on the substance, right? People
Right.
disagree on whether or not she is racist or is not racist. But the whole question was, what is the rationale for Lauren not apologizing? And I thought my belief was always Lauren, by and large, doesn't change her position because she doesn't think her positions were wrong.
Yeah,
If she doesn't think her positions were wrong, why would she apologize? But Destiny was the one who was promulgating this narrative that like Oh, she's just hiding it to make money. And so all those questions when I was and you saw me asking 100 different ways. You haven't changed, right? You stand by every word, right? All of that was to show Destiny. There's no way you can get out of it. She still stands by her views, the large part of them. Fair?
Well, I don't know if you saw the very beginning of the stream, but in the beginning of the stream, I threw a little bit of shade at Destiny for putting you in this position because I felt he was putting you up to doing something that he couldn't do himself. Now, Sitch disagreed with me on that, but it kind of, from what you're saying, it kind of sounds like I was accurate.
No. Wait, hold up. Wait. Well, first of all, I was gonna say, if that's the case, Pisco, if your characterization is what you were approaching it, then you got
That's
done.
part of it. There's
you
more
got
of it.
done. Well, okay, part of it. You got done. Did dirty.
Dirty,
by
yeah, exactly.
The way that this video.
I
is
actually don't think
edited.
I did. I
think you
don't.
did. What you just said
at the
does
end.
not come off across remotely at all in that video that we just watched.
Yeah. Destiny
think you would
comes
have
off
to-
innocent as can be.
Anyways, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for your incredibly generous donations. Thank you, Connor, for coming on. Thank you, Pisco, for coming on. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. Thank you, Lauren, for showing from the chat, making your position more clear. Thank you all for making it through with us the journey to the end of the stream. The end of the stream is always the best part of the stream because it's always when the secrets come out. When me and Adam are too tired to fight against the secrets.
Playful secrets.
Playful. Okay. Anyway, hope
I hope you don't know what reference that was from.
We hope you don't know what reference that is from. Hope you'll have a fantastic Monday. And we will see you on Tuesday.
Bye-bye, bitches. Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adam show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.